You're listening to Young and Restless Update 24, all the latest in television entertainment news. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone have a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Let's be honest, some loves fade away far too quickly, while others shine brightly forever. Nikki and Victor from The Young and the Restless have had their share of ups and downs. But when they initially married on April 13, 1984, we knew their love would last forever. The couple's fantasy wedding marked the end of one of daytime's best love stories, as well as the soap's highest-rated episode ever. However, the wedding almost did not go place. Victor was, perhaps a little understandably, feeling sorry for himself after being shot in the groin with a harpoon while rescuing his bride-to-be from her dastardly kidnapper, Rick Darrows. If he couldn't please Nikki in the bedroom, he couldn't bring himself to marry her. Nikki had tried talking to him, but all the love and support she could offer wasn't enough to sway a man whose pride was as injured as his delicates. But then a miracle happened as Victor prepared to skip town forever. He was flipping through pictures of Nikki's stripping days and felt something strange. Wait, could it be true? Was he no longer impotent? He wasn't. With that realization, the mustache ran back to Nikki and informed her that their wedding was back on. If that's not romance, we don't know what is. All kidding aside, the wedding day itself really was a romantic fairy tale. Nikki's sister Casey served as the maid of honor, while stalwart Colonel Douglas Austin stood for his good friend Victor. The two had their hands full calming the bride and groom's jittery nerves, but all those butterflies just confirmed their deep commitment to one another. Victor was nothing short of dashing in his tux, while Nikki's wedding dress was a thing of sublime beauty. French silk, royal crown, a 10-foot train and hand-beaded with pearls. It would have made royalty blush. As the two exchanged vows vowing eternal allegiance and respect, they looked into each other's eyes with a love that only happens once in a lifetime. They then vowed to share their love not only with one another, but with everyone else. There weren't any dry eyes in the house. Actually, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Their first dance was equally lovely, bathed in the soft glow of candles. Nikki and Victor were the only people in the world while Through the Eyes of Love was playing. By the time the other guests started showing up on the dance floor, all we wanted to do was crawl through our screens and join them. A comedy of terrors. Of course, this being the soap world, the day wasn't all rainbows and kittens. In fact, it was almost derailed when Victor's deranged former secretary, Eve Howard, secretly crashed the wedding. She'd broken out of the sanitarium in which she'd spent the last year the second she'd spotted the happy couple's announcement in the paper. No one was taking her man. The wedding guests were on high alert after getting word of her escape, but maybe they should have been on higher alert. Eve had no problem knocking out a caterer, stealing an outfit, putting on a fake French accent, and slipping into the wedding with murder in her eyes. But it was just not Eve's day. Her first attempt at killing Nikki with poisoned brandy went awry when the wedding march began, and the bride was rushed out before getting to it. Eve tried again after the ceremony, this time going a bit fancier with some poisoned champagne. But Casey snatched that out of Nikki's hand before she could drink and gave it to another guest. Eve, fed up, determined to simply knife Nikki. She sneaked into the bride's room, carrying a knife, and was pushed over by the door when Casey barged in. Eve raced off, disappointed and irritated, leaving the sisters perplexed by the weird waiter. Alone, she resolved to destroy Nikki. But for that one wonderful day, it seemed as if the cosmos itself was sheltering the radiant bride. We always celebrate weddings as joyous beginnings, but this particular wedding also gave fans a chance to get some final closure. A number of characters who'd left the show came back for this one special day, and chief among them were the Brooks sisters. That was the last time we saw Chris and Leslie until 2018. Lori made an additional visit in 2002, but poor Peggy was never seen again. It was, in a way, a passing of the torch. The show had already mostly shifted from the Brooks and Foster families of the Sudsers' earliest years to the Newmans and Abbotts, who had begun the show, had all left town a few years earlier. This, though, gave fans one last chance to say goodbye to the Brooks sisters as they returned to give their blessings to Nikki and Victor. and blessings they would require. That first partnership lasted a respectable 4 years, but it was only the beginning of Victor and Nikki's marriage journey. Still, nearly 4 decades later, we're still honoring their love. The Newmans are on their 4th marriage, and it appears that they have finally realized what we have known since that glorious April day in 1984. They were always meant to be. If you're ready to take a trip down memory lane and reflect on how bumpy the road to their current wedded bliss really was, why not check out some photos as review their entire rocky relationship in one photo-filled thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my USR Media to our channel and stay with us.